All right, for today, we're going to be talking about protecting yourself from negative people. Okay?
Bubbling.
Bubbling is what you like to call it, protecting yourself from negative people. I've got some stuff to tell you, but before I do that, as is my custom, what would you like to ask me before I do it? Yes.
How do you bubble without diverting all of your energy?
So actually, you just stepped into my first point. The first point is you must, if you're going, let's define bubbling real quick before I write it up. What do you mean by, I know it, but you don't know it. She doesn't know. Okay. It's something that she made up. She seen me doing it years ago, and cameraman don't know it, audience don't know it. Define that real quick, and then I'll answer the question.
Bubbling is going within yourself and creating a bubble around your source or your energy to protect yourself from outer energies attacking.
So just bubbling yourself with a cocoon of positivity. That's just bubbling. Okay? All right, outstanding. The first thing you need to do is you need to immediately establish a home. Okay? Immediately. A home. You cannot protect yourself from any negative source if what is you is unstable. All right? You have to establish a home. Now, home is where the heart is, right? You've heard that. But home is important. Now, does it mean that you have to have your own home? No, because a lot of times you're surrounded by negative people because you're living with a parent, or that could be maybe you do have a home, but it's your husband or it's your spouse or it's one of your kids that's being negative. I was talking to a woman yesterday. She has a 23-year-old son, and that 23-year-old son is extremely negative to the point where every time this son dates a woman and the woman, he brings her home to mom because he is living with her, she has to flat out tell his mates, his significant others, the lady, the mother, that, my son don't want nothing right now in life.
Wow.
Well, you have to because he keeps. Now, she doesn't just go, "Hey, my son don't want nothing." Just when bad stuff happens, right? When bad stuff happens. The reason I'm bringing this up is because sometimes as a parent, your source of negativity could be the child. You feel me? Like, this is a real deal. This negativity can come from anywhere. It can come from your credit card bills. Some of you real happy till it's rent time. The first of the month make you real negative, don't it? Yeah, it does. So how do we handle that? How do we do it? You got to have a home. A home doesn't have to be a physical place. It needs to be a place up here. It needs to be a place that you can go to that you say, this is my place. This is where I will establish my peace. This is where my manifestations will come from. Insanely important. I'm not going to be able to tell you the rest if you don't get this. Let's call God source. Let's call law of attraction your compass. Okay? Let's just do that for a second. You are what is source. Your individual manifestations to what is that great source. For instance, cameraman, I'll give him some credit so he can be famous, get a blue check by his name. Chris is a physical manifestation of what is God, what is source. His mama just told me to call him Chris. It just is what it is. And then Chris told me to call Soul Productions, shout out, pun intended, Soul Productions, right? You understand what I'm saying? I'm supposed to call you Deanna, I'm supposed to call you Grace, you call me Antonio. Is this fair? We're still God. We're still this connected to source because we are source. We don't need to grow up because we were already grown up when we got here as infants. All right? Different video for a different time, but just follow this for a second. Now, understanding this, I'm saying home needs to be where you're closer to source. Because God does not have to protect God's self from negative people. The only time you have to, God does not have to protect God's self from negative people. Think about it. When you, I got you, she's trying to get it receiving now. God does not have to protect God's self from negative people.
I don't have to protect myself.
Indeed. So that's the punchline of the whole thing. Protecting yourself from negative people, you don't have to. That's the punchline. But everybody ain't gonna follow that, so I gotta get some steps to get you there. The mere fact that you think you have to includes that in your vibrational reality, in your vortex, as Abraham would say, Abraham Hicks, your vibrational reality, there is something in you at the vibrational equivalency of what is that negative influence.
I was going to be like, if I'm God and you're God and she's God and he's God, the negative people are God too.
That's right. The negative people are God. The problem is that when you need to protect yourself from other gods or another reflection of what is God, neither you or that reflection of God is being God.
God's not there.
No, God's not negative. It's the exact opposite. When you pray, imagine, just allow me this illustration. Lord, would you protect me, please, from all negativity? Oh, you want me to go all traditional? God, I come to you. Knee bent and body bowed. You know, old deacons, you understand? And if it had not, I'm just joking. But God, just thank you. Just help me, Lord, because my sister makes me want to cuss her blankety blank out. And then whatever you believe in, that name, amen. Yes? And you get up. And then God goes, now, I don't even know what to do. She get on my nerves too. Like,
Wait.
get on my nerves too. I don't know what to do. All right, so that's not God. Do you understand? No, that's not God. Do you understand? That's not God. All right. God is not stressed by negative people. You're only stressed by negative people when you're in your little mind and not your big mind. But you can never find your big mind with no home. Okay? Whenever you don't have a home, you'll never find your big mind. That home must be something. In my case, I actually have can you hear my phone? It's right there. I actually have a note in my app. I update it periodically. It's been here for a couple of years. And probably about 5 years. I've been having an iPhone since like 2011 or something. Or maybe 2012. I think that's when it came out. A year after it came out, I had an iPhone. Nah, that's not true. First iPhone was iPhone 4. And I rode it till the wheels fell off, let me tell you. The only reason I changed it is because they said we not updating it no more. And now I got this XR. And the only way I'm changing it is when they say we ain't updating this no more, okay? But if you type in this here, I'm just putting in home in my notes. And as I come here and scroll down, eventually, I should have did a better search. Got VA home loans. That's not what I was looking for, right? Bah. Can you read the title of this for me, please?
First one or second one? My new home.
Uh-huh.
My new home city.
Cameraman, can you put this up there to where you can see it's right here. It says, should say my new home cities. Okay, he's trying to zoom it. That's okay. It's right here. I got the whole now it's blown up a little bit easier for you. There you go. Now, if you're looking at this, can you read the cities on here, please?
Okinawa, Japan.
Uh-huh.
Corby, England.
Yep.
The Caucasus, New Jersey.
I do what I do. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Beijing, China.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Paris, France.
Okay.
Rome, Italy.
Uh-huh.
Rotterdam, Netherlands.
Uh-huh.
Sulawesi, Indonesia.
Okay.
Did I pronounce that one?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Let me tell you what happens when I get these things. Okay? This is what happens. What happens here, thank you. Always good to get hugs from kids in the middle of videos. What happens here is I decided the whole world is my home. One day I decided that I will not be stressed by anyone no more. I'm gonna make the whole world my home, and inside the whole world being my home, actually, let me back up a little bit. I decided since I was stuck in a trash can, I would never be there no more. That's really where it came from. Now I make the whole world my home. I couldn't get out of the city limits, now I get out of countries. Amen. All right. But then I decided there's gonna be a few places in which my home is where I'm gonna take my shoes off. Some of these places I'm gonna have homes in these places. And every now and then I'll just be minding my business and the universe will send me some path, some movie, something. I go, man, that's beautiful. And I'll catch this energy. And I got a whole note that says my new home cities. The last time it happened to me, according to this, was August 12th, 2019 at 9:31 p.m. And I'm pretty sure I put this in Indonesia. I don't even know what this place is. I just know whatever documentary I was watching, whatever I was doing, whatever it was so fantastic. Huh? Nah, it's all right. It's all right. It was so fantastic that I went, man, I gotta live there. Because I understand this concept. Every place is my home. Every place needs to be your home. Because it used to be, now let me talk to some of you church folk. Okay, yeah, zoom in. Let me talk to some of you church folk. It used to be to where the only peace I had was in the bathroom. Help me somebody. 9 people in the house. 9 people in the house. You know how, you know I'm black, right? And that's how we do it. At grandmother house with a D in it. Grandmother. You know what I'm talking about? A big mama. We don't say big mama. We say grandmother. Yeah. You understand? 9 people in the house. The only place that I could rest was in the bathroom. Only place I could cry was in the bathroom. The only place I could talk to myself, I had to get in the mirror and be like, you are not for to let them. Uncle John is not. It's a real person. It's a real person, by the way. Uncle John is not fit to let you. I'm gonna do my stage left so the camera can see me. Uncle John is not fit to you. Man up. And walk out like.
I thought it was on purpose.
No, because I had to go back to source to get myself right. Only in that bathroom could I find source and have source remind me. It's also why I like listening to Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is always going to remind me how great I am. And I need somebody in my life to constantly remind me how great I am. Because with a mission so big, I'm always under attack. And every morning I need someone to say, you know, Antonio, you should be successful, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what, Joel, I should be. And if you just keep hope, you know I am going to keep that hope, right? That's it. Prosperity, hope. And then, yes, Joel, yes. I need that. I need it. I do. Because he's constantly, not only is he invited in my home places, but he reminds me of the energy in my home places. You got me? Which brings me to number 2. When you're going to protect yourself from negative people, guard yourself, okay, just abbreviation, from energy leaks. Let me explain. Let's just say mathematics is real. You're a former math teacher. Is math still real?
Yeah.
And so for me to make a leap and say that math is objective, would that still be facts?
Yeah.
And if I say math runs the whole world, would that still be facts?
Yeah.
And if I say that I don't get to be a Muslim or a Christian or an atheist and doubt math because math is still going to be math regardless of my belief, is that facts?
Yeah.
Outstanding. Let's just say 100% is actually real. Is that a real thing? What does 100% imply?
Whole.
A whole. Interesting. A whole. And if I want to be a whole person, I need to watch where my energy is leaking from. Because every morning, and on life's earth, I only got 100% of energy. Help me somebody. If I live to be 99, I got 99 years of 100% energy. It may look like each day I wake up morning by morning, new mercies I receive, right? It may. But the truth is, I only ever had 100. Here's how death works. Right now, as I'm speaking, there are trillions of individual systems and cells and organ systems, and they're firing off. And over time, one by one, they all stop working. Soon, enough of them will stop working all at once to where I'm dead. Let me rewind and press that again. I need you to get that. Here is me. Big head, little body, big stomach. Big stomach. Okay? It's me. This is me. Big stomach, little legs. This is what it is. I got some arm muscles. I do. I got some big arms too. So they got my arms. Okay? That's me. Now, arms or boobs? I'm not sure which one. Okay? Well, they're arms now. Okay? Now, here, did you get that, cameraman? Did you get that? Okay. The arms. There you go. These are arms. The arm muscles and the big stomach. Okay? Now, understand this much. This person only has 100% energy in this reality upon this experience. Now, this 100% gets divided, Grace, by 365 per each year I'm here. Is this fair? But I'm only ever born the same way a woman is born with 100% of the ovaries that she will have from birth. It's the same way every conscious being that what's what I'm looking for, incarnates on planet Earth has 100%. That means if I let negative people drain my energy, I only spend a 24-hour day operating in my prosperity at 12% because I let negative folk take 88% away. And I'm trying to be 100% abundant with 12%. Which leads me to the third point. Cameraman just said it. Politely allow negative energy to go over there. There's a law for this. It's called law of allowing. Okay? Yes. Law of allowing them to leave the door. No doubt. It means that I respect that your negative reality is the most perfect reality that you're creating for you. And I cannot stand in the way of your perfection, ever. So I won't do that. I will not stand in the way of you creating your perfect reality, which is what I deem negative. I shouldn't do that to you. Because the more I judge what I call negative is the more I forfeit one of my dreams. So what I do is I allow you to attract the people who are also attracting your negativity. Because I'm holding you back from your perfect experience because your negativity no longer serves me. And you're not getting the full negative experience that you desire as long as I stay in your reality. So if I want you to have the people that you deserve, I need to back up and allow you to go where you want to go. You understand what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So if you like my friend Grace, who will fall asleep on anybody, let me just tell you, anybody. That's a perfect reality. She's not falling asleep now. That's why I'm saying it now, because you ain't falling asleep now. She's like, oh my God, thank you. Ooh, the one time I'm not falling asleep. Good job, okay? But if you are, that's her perfect reality. And if I like that, then so be it. If I don't, then I need to remove myself. You get it? In this case, she's not falling asleep. I always use examples that are not happening because I don't want to speak stuff over people. You get what I'm saying? All right. Now, lastly, well, it's simple. Well, almost lastly, here you recognize this one word. And this time I'll spell it all the way out. Infector. Negative people who habitually, as a habit, like being negative. Well, let's first define negative. Let's see, you got something to say? Oh yeah, bye-bye. Let's define negative. Negative is something that does not serve my reality. What I'm attempting to pursue and manifest, it does not serve me, therefore I deem that negative. I'm not saying you're negative. I'm saying what you're doing doesn't serve me to get to the next place. So that has a negative impact on what I'm pursuing. Fair? Okay. Those people who habitually do that, they're infectors. They have one purpose and one purpose only, I'll put it in hood talk, to knock you off your character. That's what they want to do. And what they want to do is they want to throw a rock at you and hide their hands like they didn't do it. They start an argument with Grace and they sit there, and as soon as you go off, why you acting like that? You know, y'all know people like that? Y'all know people like that? Yeah. Because the perfect reality for them is to be victims. And you must avoid infectors at all cost. That's not just an objective reality or law. That's actually in the 48 laws of power. Law number 10, I believe. I'm serious. Like Robert Greene did study and said that infectors are people who only want to infect you so they can feel better about dealing with you. Because see, you're up here. And some people can't handle you up there. So they do things, they throw darts, they say Soul Productions ain't nothing. But he got millionaire clients. They say, I don't like you, Chris. Why your price is so high? Just so he can come down and write a post and address them. And now they know how to deal with him. Real example, because I just saw him do that yesterday. Okay? I just ain't say nothing. I'm saying something now. Okay? Real example. But winners never address losers. Yes, ma'am. No, ask the question. It's adding value. I'm getting ready to end anyway. I only got one more point.
So how do you do that under one roof?
Well, you go back to number one. Just because you're in a roof doesn't mean it has to be your home. Okay, you got it. Something clicked for you. Home ain't got nothing. Home don't have nothing to do with nails and relationships. Your first relationship is to source, because you are source. You are. The first thing you have to do is recognize that even in this house, I got my own house. Because the moment you retreat to you and tap into source, and listen to me, all the arguments that would have happened, those siblings, those parents, those spouses would find them they would find themselves somewhere else. Your attraction, your vibration would literally push them to where they lost their keys and had to go back to the store. So when you walked out, they weren't there because they just remembered they needed to pick up cigarettes. And in that 5 minutes, you got to walk through the hallway with them not there because your law of attraction made them make an extra stop they would not have made. You just have to trust that God, that source, will never lead you to a place that does not serve you. And you also, which is number 5, you must trust that everything, all of it is serving you. even the negative people. All of it. The problem is y'all don't trust. You say, let's bring up religion. You say, oh, I love God, I trust God, but you don't. Because every time something bad happens, you lose your mind. You lose your faith. That's not trust. Because you don't have to trust a God out there when your very sacred texts, all the valid ones say God's in here. All of them. Pick one. They all say that you're in the likeness of what is God. And if you're in the likeness of what is God, does God have low self-esteem? Does God walk around heaven? Let's just assume there's a heaven. Does God walk around heaven saying, man, I can't go over there, man, he negative? Think about that. Is God walking around heaven going, man, if she say one more thing to me? When I put it in those terms, it makes full sense. What doesn't make sense is you haven't made the leap. Show the board. You haven't made the leap that any valid, I don't mean to use valid in a negative way, but you haven't made the leap that the religions are trying to communicate one thing, that God, that's Greek for theos, became man so man can become God. You haven't made that leap yet. There's a word for this in Eastern Orthodox Christianity called theos. It's okay, you can sneeze on camera, it's all right. It's like 300 miles per hour. You held that in, so the audio could be great. You're gonna kill yourself. You ain't got no organs no more. You done blew them out. It's called theosis. God became man so man could become God. That's what it is. I'm not preaching anything on you. I'm just trying to tell you, you haven't made the leap that if you trust, it's because you are. And if you are, you should trust. You haven't made that leap. In conclusion, you protect yourself from negative people by being so much connected to your home, to a source that you don't have to. And the reason you don't have to is because the source you are, put it in religious terms, the God you serve, same thing, they're saying the same things. The source you are will fight those battles that you don't have to. Did I say something today? Antonio T. Smith Jr. You can plant better, you can dominate. Hey everybody, you may not know it, but you probably not subscribed to my videos. I appreciate you for even making me a community. Team ATS, we are here. There are 3 things that I am accomplishing and changing the world, or at least aiding to change the world. Here's thing number 1. Every single time that you watch one of these videos and every single time you subscribe, you help boost this community and help me give out a whole lot more information for free. Another thing that you're doing, and this is probably most important, you help me pay for salaries. Okay? Team ATS, the minimum wage for Team ATS, the people who work here, is $22 an hour. That's pretty cool, right? Every time that you subscribe, buy something from me, or now I'm going to ask you to go to my Patreon page and give a donation. That could be $1 a month, $3 a month, $5 a month, or if you like me, $25,000 a month. I appreciate you who's going to do that. 100% of every donation that comes through goes to salaries or video production, which is the second thing. You know, look, this is 4K content, right? All this stuff costs money. So instead of me taking money from people, what I'm doing is I am literally creating salaries and using this money for production and more salaries. I don't use the money for me. I am literally helping people, bringing people out of poverty. I specialize. I am so excited about group economics that I typically hire people with felonies or need a second chance, or someone, the daughter is 15 years old, they need insulin. I love those kind of people because they're hungry and they need an opportunity. So please go to Patreon. Okay, go over there right now. I'm not sure where my editing team is going to put it. It could be over here. Click one of these things. You understand? Go over there and do a donation. Now, that's if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. Just set me to see first, put on the notifications, click that alert bell if you're on YouTube, however you find me, and you'll be helping that way. But if you have $1 to spare, $5 to spare, $10 to spare, I promise you'll be aiding people in salaries. Let's stay together. Now, if you're on the same vibration with me, if you're trying to raise the higher consciousness of this world, if you believe if you be faithful to the few, you'll become rulers over many. If you vibrate at that frequency, let's be faithful. Let's, give $1 or $2. Let's help somebody else so the universe can help us. I really appreciate you. Team ATS is in the building to stay. A third thing that I'm doing, because I promised you 3, is I've actually started my own Oprah Winfrey network, but ATS network. So expect to see a whole lot more content. Expect me to start paying content providers and content creators. Expect me to give people a platform where they can get paid for their videos. I really appreciate you. I'm so grateful for you. Let's make this community one of the most popular and one of the most paid communities so we can pay others. I give you my word. 100% of the money that's drawn from these videos goes to creating salaries or upgrading equipment. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better. You can dominate.